In the vast pantheon of guitar gods, some stars burn so brightly they illuminate the entire musical landscape, only to be extinguished far too soon. Today, we're talking about one of the most brilliant of them all, the legendary Randy Rhoads. His time in the spotlight was tragically brief, but his influence on heavy metal and rock guitar is immeasurable, a legacy that continues to inspire countless musicians decades later. So, grab your headphones because we're diving deep into the incredible life and enduring impact of a true guitar virtuoso. Randall William Rhoads was born on December 6, 1956, in Santa Monica, California. Music was in his blood from the very beginning. His mother, Dolores Rhoads, was a professional musician and owned a music school called Musonia in North Hollywood. It was here that a young Randy first picked up a guitar. Interestingly, his first instrument was an old Gibson acoustic that belonged to his grandfather. He was a natural. At just 7 years old, he began taking lessons, but his talent quickly outpaced his teachers. It wasn't long before his own instructor admitted there was nothing more he could teach the young prodigy. Randy's passion was classical music. He studied it with the same intensity he would later apply to rock. This classical foundation became his secret weapon, a defining characteristic that set him apart from his peers. He wasn't just learning scales. He was absorbing theory, structure, and the intricate compositions of masters like Bach and Vivaldi. This deep understanding of music theory would later allow him to blend the elegance and complexity of classical music with the raw power of heavy metal, creating a sound that was entirely his own. And the Sunset Strip in Los Angeles was the epicenter of the rock and roll universe. Quiet Riot, with their glam rock aesthetic and Randy's blistering guitar work, quickly became one of the hottest acts on the circuit. They developed a fierce local following. They struggled to land a major record deal in the United States. Ironically, they signed with CBS, Sony in Japan, and released 2 albums there, Quiet Riot and Quiet Riot 2. These records, while not widely available elsewhere, showcased Randy's burgeoning talent. His solos were fast, melodic, and technically dazzling. You could already hear the unique style that would soon take the world by storm. Even as Quiet Riot's star was rising locally, Randy felt a growing need to expand his musical horizons. He was a dedicated student of his craft, even teaching guitar at his mother's school to make ends meet. He was constantly practicing, constantly learning, constantly pushing himself. He knew he was destined for something bigger, and that something bigger came knocking in a way he never expected. In late 1979, a recently fired Ozzy Osbourne was looking to start a solo band. He was in Los Angeles, holding auditions for a new guitarist. Randy, who wasn't even a big Black Sabbath fan at the time, was reluctant to go. He was loyal to Quiet Riot. It was his friend Dana Strum who convinced him to audition, practically dragging him to the studio. The story of that audition is now the stuff of legend. Randy walked in with his small practice amp and started warming up. Ozzy, who was in another room, heard just a few seconds of his playing and was instantly blown away. He reportedly said, "I've just found the greatest guitar player in the world." He hired him on the spot. Randy wasn't even required to play a full song. Joining Ozzy's band catapulted Randy from a local El hero to an international rock icon. The creative chemistry between Ozzy and Randy was electric. Together with bassist Bob Daisley and drummer Lee Kerslake, they crafted what would become one of the most important albums in heavy metal history, Blizzard of Oz, released in 1980. The album was a masterpiece. It was heavy, melodic, and sophisticated. And at the heart of it all was Randy's guitar. Songs like I Don't Know and the anthemic Crazy Train became instant classics. The guitar riff for Crazy Train is one of the most recognizable in all of rock music. His solos were not just displays of speed. They were perfectly constructed musical statements, full of emotion and technical brilliance. He used techniques like tapping, dive bombs, and classically inspired scales in ways no one had before. Then there was Mr. Crowley, with its 2 iconic, breathtaking solos that are still studied by guitarists today. And let's not forget the hauntingly beautiful acoustic instrumental. D, a touching tribute to his mother, which showcased his delicate classical fingerpicking. The Blizzard of Oz album was a massive success, and the band embarked on a world tour. Randy's reputation as a guitar god grew with every show. He was a captivating performer, but offstage, he was known for being humble, quiet, and dedicated. While other rock stars were caught up in the party lifestyle, Randy was often found practicing in his hotel room or seeking out local classical guitar instructors in whatever city the tour stopped. He was always a student, always striving to be better. The follow-up album, Diary of a Madman, released in 1981, was arguably even more ambitious. The title track is a masterclass in dynamic songwriting, shifting from heavy riffs to eerie, classically influenced passages. The album further solidified Randy's status as a visionary. His playing had evolved, becoming more complex and more integrated with the song structure. He was weaving intricate tapestries of sound that were both powerful and beautiful. He was at the absolute peak of his creative powers. Tragically, just as his star was reaching its zenith, it was cruelly snuffed out. On March 19, 1982, the band's tour bus was stopped in Leesburg, Florida, for repairs. The bus driver, Andrew Aycock, who also had a private pilot's license, decided to take a small single-engine plane for a joyride. He first took up the band's keyboardist, Don Airy, and tour manager. Then he took up Randy and the band's makeup artist, Rachel Youngblood. Aycock, who had a history of reckless behavior, started buzzing the tour bus, flying dangerously low. On the third pass, the plane's wing clipped the top of the bus, sending it spiraling out of control. It crashed into a nearby house and exploded on impact. All three people on board, Randy Rhoads, Rachel Youngblood, and Andrew Aycock, were killed instantly. The loss was devastating, not just for his family, friends, and bandmates, but for the millions of fans he had inspired. We were robbed of decades of music that he undoubtedly had yet to create. In just 2.5 years with Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads completely redefined the role of the electric guitar in heavy metal. His fusion of classical music and hard rock created a new vocabulary for guitarists. He inspired an entire generation of players, from Zakk Wylde, who would later fill his immense shoes in Ozzy's band, to Kirk Hammett of Metallic, Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine, and countless others. His influence is everywhere. His signature polka dot flying V guitar and his custom white Jackson Concord, which would become the famous Rhoads model, are as iconic as his music. He wasn't just a player. He was an innovator who worked closely with luthiers to design instruments that could handle his demanding style. Today, Randy Rhoads is remembered as a true artist. He was a perfectionist, a dedicated student, and a humble genius who let his music do the talking. His mother, Dolores, kept his memory alive through the Musonium Music School until her passing, and his spirit lives on there. He was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021, a long overdue recognition of his immense contribution to music. The story of Randy Rhoads is one of incredible talent, meteoric rise, and heartbreaking tragedy. But more than that, it's a story about the power of passion and dedication. He showed the world that heavy metal could be as sophisticated and artistic as any other genre. He played with fire, precision, and soul. Though his life was cut short, his music is immortal, a blazing legacy that will continue to inspire and electrify audiences forever. He was and always will be a legend. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this look into the life of a guitar icon, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Let us know in the comments who your favorite guitar player is. See you next time.